What inspires you? What fires you up? For young girl Avery, the fight against human trafficking inspired her to raise $20,000 for the victims.
Alrighty, so our next award's a bit different. I mentioned to you a minute ago how bad human trafficking had gotten in 2020, and so we're always on the lookout for partners. And let me tell you, I get dozens of phone calls almost daily. We want to help. We want to do this, and sometimes you're kind of like, okay, how are you going to help? And you know, we'll believe it when we see it, kind of, you know, because it's a lot to commit, to come down and to do the different things. Well, I got a message that this person wanted to help with human trafficking, and I thought, this is great. And then the message said, well, I want to help raise money for the program, and I thought, this is great. Okay, this is good. And so then I heard a little bit more, and this person had outlined an entire plan for raising $25,000 to renovate a room at the Dream Center to help, which is about what it costs, to help more human trafficking survivors at the Dream Center. Now, you might think that this was a business person or maybe a retired person who had some discretionary income. This was a 14-year-old girl named Avery. The average age of girls entering into this life is 14 years old nationally. Here locally, it's down to 12. So she doesn't know she's getting an award either, but she's here tonight. So Avery and some of her family, are you coming up here? Avery, when I saw your email, I burst out crying too, just like you're doing. So we're a bunch of crybabies here tonight. So I can't believe you had the vision for that. I really can't. Would you share with us a little bit about why you're doing this and like what your vision is?
Sorry, I did not know that was happening. Good evening, everyone. I'm honored to be here with all of you tonight. Like Brian said, my name is Avery Perez. I am 14 years old and I stand up against human trafficking. A year ago, I started learning about human trafficking statistics and quickly started to realize how prevalent it has become in the U.S. I believe God calls us to stand up against the evil in this world. Psalms 82:8-4 says, "Your job is to stand up for the powerless and prosecute all those who exploit them." I believe all survivors of human trafficking deserve the opportunity to experience the love of Jesus and to find out the plans He has for their lives. November 12th of this year, I will be hosting a banquet at my church called the Night of Hope. My goal is to raise enough money to sponsor a room at the Dream Center. I have already seen God's hand in this dream that He has given me to help young girls, boys, and women out of human trafficking. I want to use my voice to stand up and fight for people. Even though I am young, I know I can be used by God. The Bible says in 1 Timothy 4:12, "Don't let anyone think less of you because you are young. Be an example to all believers in what you say, in the way you live, in your love, your faith, and your purity." I am grateful to my pastors, Joe and Kirsten Tuttle, who have always encouraged young people to step out into their dreams, and my amazing family for their encouragement and support. Like Pastor Tommy Barnett says, "Find a need and fill it, find a hurt and heal it." I believe this is just the beginning of my mission to fight human trafficking. Thank you.
I just want to thank Avery personally. So my organization, Streetlight USA, we serve children 13 to 17 who are victims of sex trafficking. And every day there are girls Avery's age, 14, that come into my program. So Avery, may God bless you for what you're doing, and may you be a voice to girls of your generation. May you be a light to teens your age, and may you lead the way for young girls to follow, to pick up your mantle and to go forward with all that you're going to do. So God bless you and thank you.
Well, today I get to talk with Avery Perez. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Avery, I'm so inspired by your story. I'm 23 and I haven't raised that much money. I mean, you're what? How old are you?
15.
15. I can't believe you're raising all this money at 15 years old. When you're 20, you're gonna be raising millions.
Praying for good things.
Well, absolutely. Now, Avery, how much have you raised so far?
So far, we've raised $14,000, which is already insane because it's not even November yet. So.
And what's the goal?
20,000.
20,000.
Yes.
And 20,000 buys a room.
Yes.
Tell us about that. What does the 20,000 do?
The 20,000 basically redoes another room for the Dream Center to just have young girls come in and survivors of human trafficking come in and get loved on.
Absolutely. So Avery, what inspired you in the first place to do this? What was it that was like, wow, I need to go raise money?
Just learning about how prevalent it was in the U.S., but not only in the U.S., in Arizona. And I think God calls us to stand up for those who can't stand up for themselves, and I wanted to do something about it.
Right. So what were the different ways that you raised money? What did you do to get this money?
I reached out to Brian, and he just gave me amazing opportunities to come and speak at one of the Dream Center banquets,
Wow.
and then one at the Dream City service.
So you're going to be raising 20,000 very soon. You're almost there. You're at
Yes.
14, and then you're raising another 20,000 this November. Tell us about
Yes.
that.
Yeah, so we're going to be holding a banquet at my church to provide another room for the Dream Center, and hopefully maybe we'll do two. I don't know.
Who are you inviting to these?
Just people around the community. We're asking for donators, sponsors, so just reaching our community.
So are you partnering with the Dream Center in this, or are you just going full head on your own?
I have, yes, partnered with the Dream Center with Brian, and he's been amazing throughout all of this, so I'm very thankful for that.
Have you gotten to meet any of the victims that you've been able to pour money into? Have you been able to meet some of the girls at the Dream Center?
Yes, I have. We went to an art walk, and I got to personally meet some of the victims, and it's just so amazing to see how far they've come out of something so traumatic.
Absolutely. What was it like for you to meet them and see them face to face?
It was really emotional, actually, just being able to see kind of how God just restored their life and how well they're doing after just an awful, awful thing.
Yeah. So what's next for you? Do you plan on continuing this? Is this something you want to pour your life into? What are you wanting to do?
Yeah, hopefully, I mean, it becomes a future job and just a part of my calling to help girls out of human trafficking, and hopefully the banquet becomes a yearly thing.
Absolutely. Well, you're going to do huge things. You're on the right track. You already are doing huge things.
Thank you.
At just 15 years old. I just cannot believe that. You're way ahead of the game, that's for sure. So Avery, I'm sure there's tons of kids right now who are watching and they're like, oh my goodness, well, if Avery can do it, maybe I can do something. And they're inspired by a cause. What would you give advice? What advice would you give to them?
Just don't let anything hold you back. Don't let your age or anyone hold you back. Just step out into what God is calling you to do.
Absolutely. So what was the process you took to get involved? You just made a phone call, right?
Yeah, I emailed Brian one day, and I think it was like 3 hours. He emailed back, and the dream became a reality.
So it took stepping out, right?
Yes,
You had
just
to do
saying
something.
yes. Mm-hmm.
And then when the opportunity came,
Yes.
you had to move forward with it.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much, Avery, for being here. We're going to be following your story. We're going to be watching what you're doing. We're so proud of you and all of God's blessings as you move forward and
Thank
you are
you.
taking care of his women, those victims that he loves so very much. Thank you, Avery.
Thank you for having me.
Well, Avery is helping our Phoenix Dream Center, specifically the Hope Wing, where victims of human trafficking are given a beautiful room to stay in and are given hope for their future as they can be rehabilitated and back out into the world again. If you want to give towards this cause or volunteer and use your time like Avery did, go to phoenixdreamcenter.org to learn how you can get involved.